If you're in your late teens or early 20s, you're probably in the midst of some major life changes. I just hit my 10-year anniversary of graduating high school, so here are 10 things I wish someone had told me when I was your age. Number one, college is not your only option. I grew up in a community where the idea of not going to college after high school, well, it wasn't really an idea at all. I didn't consider even for a moment that I had other options. I don't necessarily regret going to college, but within a year after graduating, I was no longer using my degree and I don't expect to ever use it again. And I'm not alone. A recent study showed that about 52% of college graduates are in jobs that don't require a degree a year after graduating. And that's the people who actually graduated. About 33% of everyone who attends college hasn't even graduated at all after 6 years. There are so many well-paying trade jobs out there that have major labor shortages here in the US. By the time your friends are graduating and getting jobs as baristas, you could have a good stockpile of savings built up or even bought your first house already. By the way, I'm not picking on baristas. I was bussing tables at 25 with a degree in mechanical engineering. I'm simply referencing the underemployed college graduate we already discussed. The idea of college being a waste of time and money may be especially true for you if you're someone who knows you don't want to climb the corporate ladder or you're passionate about starting businesses. There are plenty of entry-level sales positions out there that don't require a degree where you could start to learn about business, get valuable training and experience in sales, while also working on starting a business as a side gig. I'm a big believer in the school of hard knocks. I think the person who's actually out there starting businesses is going to become way more knowledgeable than the kid who's sitting through Econ 101 half asleep. Number two, stop caring what others think about you. I'm sure you've heard this one before, but the reason it gets brought up so often is because it's so important and it's a lesson that seemingly everyone learns sooner or later. Someone said, when you're 20, you care what everyone thinks. When you're 40, you stop caring what everyone thinks. And when you're 60, you realize no one was ever thinking about you in the first place. This is probably why a lot of older people seemingly have no filter. Unfortunately, this is one of those lessons that can be hard to learn simply by someone telling you. For most people, they just have to slowly pick up on it as they get older. But I do think if you consciously make an effort to keep this idea at the forefront of your mind, you're going to put yourself ahead of the curve. I don't know about you, but I don't want to wait until I'm 60 to start acting in the way I truly want to. Number three, build strong financial habits. You don't need to earn a high income to start building good habits with money. Rather than just saving, start investing as soon as possible. It can be as little as $10 a month into an IRA or stock portfolio. It's really the habit that's important. And then as your income increases, so can your investment amount. Also, start tracking every single thing you spend your money on. Use a service like Quick and Simplify or Rocket Money to build a budget and track all your spending. It can be extremely eye-opening to see where your money actually goes. If I had been doing this in college, I probably would have been horrified at the amount of money I spent on alcohol alone. Number four, make physical fitness a priority. Staying active and taking care of your body are too important not to make it a cornerstone of your routine. Life is only going to get more hectic as you get older. So if you don't start the habit of working out now, it's just going to get harder to get yourself to start in the future. But believe me when I say that working out can be very addictive. The dread you feel about going to the gym on day one is not going to last. I promise that before long, you're actually going to be excited about getting your workout in. It's often the highlight of my day. This is also a great time to explore different fitness routines. Try weightlifting, join a run club, go to yoga classes, do martial arts. If you attend college, most universities offer free or discounted group classes at the campus rec center. There are an endless number of ways to stay active, so you can't really use the excuse that you just don't enjoy working out. There's something out there for everyone. Number five, start journaling daily. I wish I knew years ago that journaling is not just for teenage girls. There is so much power in recording your life and the emotions you experience throughout your life on a daily basis. And it's just so cool to be able to look back at any point years in the past and be reminded of exactly what was going on. It can also help you work out difficult decisions you've been wrestling with. Have you ever talked to a friend about a problem and become way more clear about what to do, even though your friend didn't necessarily say that much? You just came to the conclusion on your own by externalizing the issue. You can get that same benefit by journaling to yourself. There's something about putting words down on paper that can open up new perspectives. But I'm not going to go too in depth on this one because I did a whole video on the subject, which I'll link down in the description. But start this habit today if you've not already done so. Number 6, start approaching women. This one is specifically for the guys watching. Start approaching girls on a more regular basis. And I don't mean just at the bar, because here's the thing. When you're young and you're in high school or college, meeting people is honestly pretty easy. There are tons of mutual friends. There's events going on every weekend. You meet new people all the time. But as soon as you graduate, your rate of meeting new people organically can often take a pretty big nosedive. So unless you want to be condemned to trying to meet someone on a dating app, build the skill and get over the fear of cold approaching girls. But the beautiful thing is you can and should practice with anyone. Go to a cashier instead of the self-checkout and strike up a conversation. Compliment random strangers. Find an excuse to talk to whomever, because it's going to help you become more confident and more charismatic without all the anxiety that comes attached to the goal of getting a date or a phone number. Number 7, make time for family. If you're in your late teens or early 20s, you probably already did or are soon to be moving away from home, which means your days of seeing family every single day are coming to a close. And as you and your siblings, if you have any, transition into adulthood and acquire more responsibilities, that means less time seeing each other and your parents. Number 8, try new things. This one might seem obvious, but if you go straight into the workforce out of high school, or you go to college and get caught up in your classwork, it can be pretty easy to forget that this is your best opportunity to figure out what types of things you're passionate about. If you did go into the workforce, don't be afraid to try out some different careers. If you're in school, join different university clubs or study abroad if you can swing it financially. Just try to spend a little less money on alcohol and spend more money on memorable and unique experiences. Number 9, become a master of self-discipline. If there's one thing you take away from the video, please let it be this one. But let's start with a definition so we know exactly what we're talking about here. Oxford Languages defines self-discipline as the ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses, or, and here's the big one, the ability to pursue what one thinks is right despite temptations to abandon it. I don't care what it is you end up deciding to do with your life. I don't care what skills you have or don't have. If you can become a master of self-discipline, you put yourself way out in front of your competition. But more importantly, you put yourself way out in front of the version of you that hasn't become disciplined. It's literally a superpower. I'll probably make a separate video on this topic specifically, but just to give you somewhere to get started, pick something that's new, challenging, and a little outside of your comfort zone. Starting a gym routine is a good example. Don't overcommit. Don't go from never seeing the inside of a gym to telling yourself you're going to go 5 days a week. Make it realistic, but make it challenging. Then once you prove to yourself you can keep your promise on this thing, you can move on to the next thing, and you'll slowly be able to keep promises to yourself in every area of your life. Once you can do that, you're literally able to pick out what you want in life, and then the only thing between you and what you've picked out is simply enough time. Last but not least, cherish the next few years. This is probably not the first time someone has said this to you, but just like with most things that become a cliche, they tend to do so because they're rooted in truth. Your early 20s will fly by. You'll never have this much freedom and lack of responsibility again. Enjoy it, but also find enjoyment in bettering yourself in all the ways I just discussed, because true fulfillment comes when we're improving while appreciating the process of improvement. If there are any other valuable lessons you've picked up on in early adulthood that I didn't mention, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. That's all I got. Peace.